You ever feel like you're doing everything right, training hard, showing up every day, but your progress still feels stuck? That was me. I was doing all the push-ups, the pull-ups, and the handstand work, grinding 5 to 6 days a week, and yet my planche was still shaking and my handstand was still failing. Then I realized something very important. Effort does not guarantee progress, but programming does. The difference between unlocking a handstand in 10 days versus 100 days is not your effort or your work ethic. It's your program. And once I learned how to create a powerful program, calisthenics went from hard mode to easy mode. Take a guess on how long it took me to learn the planche. It was not 2 years. It was literally 54 days, which is less than 2 months. This is the power of following a good training structure. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to program your training so you can increase the weights as well as the reps every session and unlock skills so fast that it feels almost illegal to know. Ready? Okay, let's go. Let's start with the most misunderstood part, and that is strength. Strength is the most important thing when it comes to learning skills and increasing the weight on our lifts, like dips or pull-ups. But here's something you need to understand. Strength isn't about how long you can last. It's about how much force you can generate in one move. Because let me tell you this, strength isn't built with high reps. You don't unlock a full planche by just doing 100 push-ups. Or you won't be able to do a 50-kilogram weighted pull-up if you just keep training the pull-ups for reps. You build strength by doing lower reps, but with high intensity and perfect control. So this brings us to the reps. How many reps to maximize your strength? And it's pretty simple. The rule of thumb, I would say, is between 2 to 6. But here's the trick. You're not going to failure. Every set, you want to leave 1 to 2 reps in the tank. Why? Because strength is a nervous system game. In other words, you're training your brain and body to be more efficient in that move. But since we're doing low repetitions, we actually expand the amount of sets we do to get more volume. Because let's say you do 2 sets of 3 reps, you're doing 6 reps in total, which may not be the best method to progress quicker. So what you would do is you can do even less reps, let's say 2 repetitions, and do 5 sets. In this way, you will get much more volume, which is clean, efficient, and more powerful. Side note, technique and form are very important when doing the exercise to gain strength. This is not CrossFit, okay? But now you're probably wondering, will I even build muscles by doing this? Or will I just get strong without looking strong? And that's a great question because this is when hypertrophy comes in. Here, we're actually targeting fatigue. So the longer you can put your muscles under tension, the more muscle growth you'll experience. And this is why we go for higher reps, typically between 8 to 15 repetitions. So here's the secret, and here's the powerful program which I want to talk to you about. And that is combining strength and hypertrophy training. And it's actually much simpler than you think. So for instance, let's say we do pull-ups. We do 3 reps of weighted pull-ups for 4 sets. Now we are building pure strength. However, instead of doing a 5th and a 6th set, we would do these last 2 sets for hypertrophy. So we take the weight off and we just do regular pull-ups to burn out the muscles. In this case, you would have done 4 sets of strength training and 2 sets of hypertrophy, which is the sweet spot to gain strength and muscles at the same time. But now another question pops up. How should I split my training? There are 2 main splits for majority of people. Option 1, we have the full body split. So in this split, we're training all muscle groups at the same time. So for our pulling strength, as well as the back muscles, biceps, and rear delts, we would be doing pull-ups, for instance. For the chest, triceps, shoulders, and pushing strength, we will be doing dips. And you can also add some accessory work, like something for abs, or just regular push-ups and horizontal pull, like Australian rows, and maybe some handstand work. But it's very important that you're doing the right exercises to begin with, which you can check out my previous video where I went into details on the best calisthenics exercises. Now, the pros of this is that it's time efficient. So you can actually do supersets. For example, you can do pull-ups, superset it with push-ups or dips. It's great for busy people and it's easy to track total volume. But here's the drawback. Since you're doing many large movements like pull-ups and dips in one session, it's going to be very fatiguing on your nervous system. And usually the final movements suffer more. So if I start with weighted pull-ups, my weighted dips will suffer, which is not a good thing, especially if we're adding a skill training in the beginning, then it can be a problem in general. But now let's go to option 2, which is the typical push-pull legs. Push day, you can have dips, handstand work, or maybe planche work and some push-ups. For the pull day, you'll have pull-ups, rows, and some ab workouts, for example. Now, the pros for this is that you get better recovery, there's higher focus per session, and more importantly, long term, it's the best for strength gains because you're getting efficient recovery in between, and putting all the energy and effort on the same muscle group or movement pattern. But the only cons to this is the amount of days you need. If you play it smart, you can do a push, pull, rest, and then push, pull again, and then 2 rest days. So that's technically just 1 more session than full body split. So my advice, if you want to stick to the most powerful routine, and that would be the push-pull session, because this will get you the best results faster. But now, of course, if you want to go deeper into the training protocols, unlock skills within 30 days, I've built a 30-day system called the Bodyweight Beast. Inside, you'll get full training splits, skill progressions, the recovery methods, the deload methods, and so many more techniques to progress faster. And you'll also have a tracking workbook. You're going to be applying this into the 30 days challenge. Everyone who's used it have unlocked incredible levels of strength and skills in calisthenics in very short time. Check out the Bodyweight Beast, link is down below. If you did find this video helpful, do leave a like and make sure you subscribe for more. I'll see you next video. Peace.